I saw Four Good Days at Sundance, and I love the film, and I think it resonates so much more now. And this song, Somehow You Do.
When you think it's the end of the road, it's just because you don't know where the road's leading to. When you think that the mountain's too high and the ocean's too wide, and you'll never get through. Some way, somehow, you do.
Diane, the first question I have for you as the songwriter and the music writer is, how did this come about? What was it about the film that inspired you? When did you get that epiphany?
I saw a rough cut of the movie, and it was like right at the beginning of the pandemic, and I came to work the next day, and nobody was in my office but me, which I kind of liked, to be honest. And so I sat at my keyboards, and that chorus just wrote itself. And like I said, it was the beginning of the pandemic, so it was written for the movie, because the movie does, as painful as the story is, it does, end well. And a lot of those situations don't. It's about addiction. And I wanted to write a song, I wanted to write a song about hope, that when times are the hardest, that you'll get, when life's punched a hole in your soul, like somehow you're still going to get through it. You're going to get to the other side. And it was during the pandemic as well. So some of that stuff came into, so the song, so was really perfect for the movie, but yet it took another added layer with what was going on, in the world when I was writing it. And then when Bill did it, it took on this whole other, so there's all these layers to this song. And there's a whole layer that I didn't even know existed till I heard him do the song. So it's like, yeah, it's amazing.
So Bill, I have to ask you, first of all, your music, your albums, going back to 2004's Has Been, which is just a fantastic album, you really hit your stride over these last, 17 years now as a music performer. But what was it about Somehow You Do that you're like, I know how to do the song. I know exactly what the song needs.
Well, thank you for the compliment. And as we've been doing this for the last hour, and everybody's been very kind, and so I protest that I know nothing about anything. But this show that I do, the talk show that I do, is called I Don't Understand, and it's about everything I don't understand. So I invited Diane to come and talk to us about how to write a hit song. And she comes with a group of people with music, and so I'm talking to her about her life and everything, and really getting a really great interview. And she says, "But would you record my song? What song is that again?" And she has the lyrics up, the recording equipment, and Diane Warren's asked me to record a song. So there I was, conducting an interview, Scott, and recording a song in the interview. Could that have? Has that ever been done before? Is that a first? Right.
No, and you know what I want to do? I want to prove this is a hit song. You had me on to talk about what makes a hit song. I think this is a hit. I think your version of this song is a hit. I do. I'm going to go on record saying.
I agree. I got to say, being just such a lifelong music buff, the first time I heard, Bill, your rendition of this song, it moved me so much. It was so emotional. And I just got to say, bravo, Diane and Bill, on working on the song. But John, I want to ask you, John Ottman, by the way, Academy Award winner for Bohemian Rhapsody editing. You and I did many conversations that year. Yeah. But what was it like for you the first time you heard the song?
Well, the first time I heard the song was with Bill's performance. And so I was actually so moved by it. And I mean, there's something about his voice and his instincts as an actor that just immediately hone into what we were talking about, the soul of the song, and I was like, wow, it's like, I don't know how this wouldn't affect anyone listening to this. Maybe even a person I don't know, on some far corner of the earth does no idea who Bill Shatner is, which is, I don't know where that person would be, but they would be moved by it as well. He just, he has this ability, it's a cold read, and that shows his instincts as an actor,
Everybody feels that when that hears it. I don't mean to interrupt you, but really quickly, everybody that hears this, and there isn't one person that I've played this for. That's why I know it's a hit. It's so weird and amazing. Everybody that hears it, even I have like cynical friends. Like I do. I have the most cynical friends. I'll be like, and they're like crying. So sorry.
I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard, Bill, and I don't know if you remember that when you did the Space the Final Frontier for the series, that they literally yanked you over to a microphone and you said it once and left the room, and that's what we hear for 55 years or whatever. Is that true? Because this is sort of similar.
It might be, but I've got to also tell you, I've never been happy with my delivery of it. I've been trying to correct it for 55 years.
I gotta tell you, here's some trivia. I could actually tell you, John and Bill and Diane, that Bill did indeed do one take that he absolutely nailed of Space the Final Frontier it was while they were filming the episode Dagger of the Mind.
My God.
So what happened was, and I'm not sure, Bill, if you even know this, but there was a pop in the recording, so you had to record it a second time, and that second take is the version of Space the Final Frontier that we've been, absorbing for 55 years.
Know that.
So, bravo!
You know what that is, you guys? There's magic. If I'm working with a singer recording, we always they'll be like, let me just try to practice a little bit. Keep that mic on, because that's when you capture the magic, because you're not thinking, it's just you're feeling. That's what
I want to ask Bill. Bill, I have to ask, when you heard the music and you read the lyrics, what was your entry point for your delivery of the song? That's the first question. And second question is, how many takes did you do of the song?
Scott, I'd never heard the song. The lyrics appeared in the teleprompter. I'd never seen them before. And I don't believe I did more than one take.
Wow.
There was a one word, the ending, where she wasn't happy with the one word. And I thought, not happy with the word. Okay, let's try and correct that. And I did it. I think I did one word a couple of times, increasing. The problem with what I do musically is I could have danced all night. I could have danced, and the music takes you on the dance. But when you say I could have danced all night, it doesn't have the import. So if you use the word love, I love you, and you hold that note, the music sells the love. But what do you do when you say love? You don't have that impact. So there's a problem there. How much do you give? How much do you step out into the pool, whether it's got water in it or not, to take a flyer? And there were some songs, some of those drug songs that I did, where exactly, they were drug songs. So it's Mr. Tambourine Man. I need the drug. But so the guy's saying, well, what's he doing? Well, there's a drug song, and it's kind of like you don't know. You don't know, what am I doing? And then finally, it got me saying, what am I doing? The words were there. The words were there. It was a perfect piece of poetry, and I don't think, did I see it, Dan? Did I read it first once?
Yeah. I brought a lyric sheet, but you saw it, but more than saw it, you felt it, and you took that song, you took words. Like, I'm not used to someone saying my words. It's singers sing them, but what you did with that is as great as the greatest singer I've ever worked with. I've worked with the best singers in the world, and what you did was as great as any of these singers I've worked with, I have to say.
So from now on, it's Bill.
Yeah.
From now on, only Bill.
John, I gotta ask you, when did it hit you how to make this video, like how to approach it?
Well, first, I guess like what happened with Bill, I'm like told, okay, we have the song. Can you make a video out of it? I'm like, okay, with what? So so first I had to figure out, okay, in my mind's eye, how to tell the story of the song through allegorical images and people alone. And I thought, well, if you go from low to high, that can have an evolution of the song at least, and where the song is going. And so what kind of images, and so I just thought of people alone, people lost in a sea of people, and then going from like low. So I wanted people in tunnels. Actually, we couldn't really find a lot of alone people in tunnels, because I wanted to go from like almost below the earth to on top of the earth. And so I did a list of different shots I would ideally look for. I really had no idea that they had dramatized shots you could buy online, or license online, if people alone and looking forlorn, or you can find anything you want, as long as you. The hardest part is searching, finding those nuggets, because I could say I want to follow it back to the person walking through a forest, and you might find 50 terrible ones and one that's really great, but I need 5 more, of someone alone walking away from the camera in a forest, or a road, basically a road, which was the other thing. So anyways, it was just curating the shots I needed, and almost finding the dailies that I needed to write to create this thing. So Ray Acosta's assistant was a godsend, because she would just just plow through looking through things online and getting me the shots I wanted, and she found this one shot of this kid, as the camera tracks behind the kid running on this cliff towards the ocean. I don't know where that shot came from, but I was like, that's the thread for me. That's what we're going to lead to, and then which leads, of course, to the rocket going off, which of course also is a little wink to Bill going to space. And so that became what I wanted to back time from that moment, and then literally I found one shot of arms up of this person, against the stars. I'm like, wow, if I could end with like 5 different people doing that. So then you search it on Google, person raising arms, next to the ocean or whatever. And so, it took forever. We found I found like 4 or 5 good shots of that happening.
Well, you know what? That's actually a great point. I'm glad you brought that up, John, because talk about burying the lead. Bill, how has this song resonated even deeper since your big trip into space?
Well, they're obviously 2 different subjects. The shorthand version of what I went through up there, Scott, is in weightlessness. Finally, we were released from the seat in weightlessness, and I didn't want to waste any time with being weightless. So I swam my way to a window, and I was looking behind me, back at Earth, and I could see the wake. And I've never heard this one before, but the spaceship, term it that, was pushing a hole through the blue sky. So I'm looking at this hole in the blue sky, and I can see the sky coming back like water, and it's coming up, and my eye goes, and I follow, and I see the blackness of space. I've been intrigued by space, as you well know, by the constellations and the new Webb telescope. I mean, the space and its unimaginable magic has been a part of my life. But this blackness was none of that. This blackness was death. And I could see death there, and I could see life there. And I was overwhelmed by sadness of what we're doing to the earth. This song relates in that way. And so there is I never thought of it until this moment, there is a progression here that you're seeing that I didn't see until this moment.